Yes.
Madam Speaker, I thank the Honorable Minister for his rather comprehensive answer. Madam, I seek your protection. My question cannot be heard by other members.
आपके एक भी बात नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. बैठ जाइए, प्लीज बैठ जाइए. कल विस्तृत चर्चा सब हो चुकी है इस विषय पे. आप बैठ जाइए. नहीं, आई एम नॉट अलाउइंग यू. बैठ जाइए, प्लीज.
Madam Speaker, I thank the Honorable Minister for his comprehensive answer placed on the table, and I am also cognizant that this is not his portfolio. He is standing in for his colleague. But my first supplementary refers to part 1 of his answer, where he has mentioned 805 crores for a number of projects, which are a number of sites which are polluted, which need cleaning up, and also monitoring of 50 such sites throughout the country. I would submit, Madam, that this 805 crores figure is too small for the entire country. We have a large number of polluted sites. Will the Minister agree to conduct a review to examine whether this ought to be increased? And also, Madam, that only 10 crores of this 805 crores is so far being utilized by the Central Pollution Control Board to just do feasibility studies. Will he agree to assure the House that the 805 crores expenditure will be expedited so that pollution cleaning up of these sites can start happening?
Yes.
मैडम, मैंने हरा कपड़ा इसलिए पहना कि आज इन्वायरमेंट मिनिस्ट्री का जवाब देना था, इसलिए. Madam, the question is very important, being asked by the learned friend Panda ji. There are basically 2 programs going on in the country to deal with the contaminated sites being identified in various parts of this country. The first one, which the Honourable Member referred to, is the National Clean Energy Fund. That is the 805 crore component which we are dealing with the help of the state government. And in Odisha also there are 2 projects being identified, 3 projects being identified, and 2 of the projects are already completed with the awarding of the works, and the DPR is under process, and there is one retendering process going on. Rest of the countries, besides this program, I would like to inform the Honourable Member in the August House through you, Madam, is that there is also externally aided program through World Bank funding, and that is basically for the capacity building for industrial pollution management, and it is a large program. And I can inform the Honourable Member later on, because it's a very detailed program, but the Ministry is very, very mindful of the importance of this subject to deal with it, and the government is committed to that.
Second supplement.
Second supplement,
नई
Madam.
भूमिका में भी अच्छा उत्तर दे रहे हैं.
बहुत अच्छा बोलते हैं, Madam. Madam, I would like to point out that of these 2 programs, the first one requires state government to pay 60% of the cost. The second one, the World Bank funded project, which the Honourable Minister was referring to, requires the state government to only pay 15% of the cost, and therefore, of course, it is more attractive for state governments to use the second program, World Bank funded program, for cleaning up these contaminated sites. But I am a little disappointed to note, Madam, that so far only 3 states have been included in that. As per the answer given by the Honourable Minister, 2 states, Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal, and the Central MOEF, Ministry of Environment and Forests. I would like to point out that certain states like mine, Odisha, have an extra problem because coal is going from our states. Coal is going from Odisha, Jharkhand, and these states, whereas the power is being generated in other places. Power is being generated and transmitted to other states. We are being left with a lot of pollution because Indian coal has high ash content, and the ash is being left behind in our states. So we have an extra burden of pollution from this industrialization, particularly because coal-based power plants have been given a boost in recent months. So I would urge the Honourable Minister to assure the House that those states which have an extra burden from these sources like coal ash be urgently included in this second program, which is a little easier on the state government's exchequer, requiring only 15% input. States like Odisha, Jharkhand, etc. are in dire need of these kind of programs and funding. I will ask the Honourable Minister to give an assurance to the House.
Honourable Member is correct in saying that the second program is more easier for the state to contribute at 15% of the component. The first one is actually only 12 sites. Rest of these sites, presently there are 320 sites being identified. But these are probable contaminated sites. Nothing is confirmed yet. But the honourable member comes from Odisha, which definitely involves lots of coal mining and transportation and all. Is certainly an issue. So as I said, 320 is not the only sites that we have defined. In the process of our, the working system, I'm sure that more sites will be identified in the days to come. And for the state of Odisha, I can assure that the ministry will definitely look into the matter.